So for today's video, I want to talk about website design, something that I don't think is talked about very often enough, the impacts it can have on your conversion rate optimization and just overall leading to sales when customers or potential customers get your website. And overall, just go from some examples from simplicity to a little bit more complex, and really want to get at why website matters from a creative standpoint, as well as also the website speed, something to also consider. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so I'm going to start off with some different brands, and we're going to go from more like simple to more complex. So the first one, looking at Nothing Personal site, I think this is like the bare minimum to do, is just a very clean, have your logo at the top, white background, and just have products available. I think it's important to have a very easy interface for all your products to be seen. And also one key thing to note is I'm going to be viewing everything on desktop today, but you really want to be thinking about mobile and how mobile friendly your website is, and making sure that's what's prioritized the most, because most of your traffic is going to be coming from mobile devices. That's where everyone's using, everyone's on their phone, and that's where most shopping happens. So yeah, very simple here. Just easy product layout. Products look good. They're clean backgrounds. They look good. Shows price, and yeah, just pretty simple, standard. And so I think this is like the bare minimum, and I'm even guilty of doing that myself. Looking at my brand site, I just have the new products that I released, showcasing all of the products I have available, and then just some different tabs on more things about the brand itself, but really gonna be looking at mostly home pages. And like I said, I think this is kind of the bare minimum, and definitely somewhere to build from here. So the next brand I want to look at is Little Tokyo Table Tennis, a brand out of LA, I believe. And yeah, I think this one's just cool. Obviously, they have some very interesting products, definitely most well known for their hats. But yeah, simple, a little bit more, I guess, a little bit more to it in terms of the boxing of how things laid out. The products themselves are a little more laid out interestingly. I don't know how this one looks on mobile, but I like this one a little bit more. Again, just slowly building on it, getting a bit more and more complex. Like for my site, this is just a free Shopify template for how I created this, and I'm sure this one's probably the same as well for Nothing Personal. But as we get into more and more deeper websites, these are definitely going to be custom made, and I'm not sure how much they will cost, but definitely a pretty penny for some of these. So building from here, we have Huni Worldwide. Definitely one of my favorite brands. Mona Thomas, the designer slash founder of this brand, just does awesome work. And really, this one's not too much different than the previous ones, except for just like black background. But I like this one. She has some rotating products. I think one thing to be thinking about is the visual aspects of a website, and of course, having things moving will affect website speed in some ways negatively. But overall, I think definitely adds to the customer experience. And what you really want to be thinking about is, your website. You're obviously just trying to drive traffic and drive sales, but it really is an extension of your brand. And so you want to think about it as such. What creative ways and things can you be doing for it that is kind of on brand for you, but also just adds to the experience for the customer. It really is just another customer touch point. So yeah, we have this really clean black background. Everything is, all the products look super clean, the flats and whatnot that they're using. Yeah, just super simple and clean. Moving on from here, we have Who Decides War. The only reason I added this one on the next step is because their homepage right here is not like your typical just product scroll. They have a different enter the gallery or shop the collection. I'm actually not even sure what this does. Okay, so this is kind of, feels like a PowerPoint almost. On desktop, this feels a little weird. I don't like this a ton. Okay, and then you kind of get to a more traditional, kind of like the Little Tokyo Table Tennis scroll for the products. This looks clean. The products, again, are the flats are good. I also like when you can go over the product and then it like shows a better picture of it. That's one thing I do on my own site, kind of like that. Yeah, just small details I think add to the, again, customer experience, and overall just, the more visually appealing it is, the better. So moving on from here, we will go to Cody Phillips. I like this site, again, pretty simple, but also he's did a really good job with the lookbook for this collection, his Black Friday collection. So having this on the homepage, it's really scrollable, again, just adds to the experience, especially if someone who's, coming to the site who stumbled upon it for whatever reason, and then is now being introduced to the brand. these things become that much more crucial and important to the overall customer journey. So here we have, again, the new arrivals or new products. I think that's smart to always have like your newest things that you want to be selling at the forefront of your page. And then there's generally going to be some type of shop all. Here we have separated by bottoms, shirts, and hoodies. And then, of course, if we go to the tabs, we can see more of a traditional scrolling for everything. The next one I want to touch on is Circle Author. Kind of similar concept where it's like they have the product photography and images of the new stuff that just came out. So we have these collegiate jerseys kind of deal. Again, Michigan, Miami, Boston College, and Nebraska. I like this kind of gray background. It's a bit of a contrast from just the white background. So again, just adds another layer to it. Overall, this feels very like a little bit like Pinterest-like and just like artsy. I like the creative direction of the site. And then again, we have a Shop All tab, and it goes into more of a traditional, scrolling. I like that it's very clean with just 4 per row. And then we have the prices right here, and it's a gray. Again, nice contrast. I like this. Next up, we have Online Ceramics, one of my favorite brands. Been around for a while, probably one of the bigger brands, definitely on this that I'll be going over. And their whole thing is really pretty similar to the others, except for all the products are very big, and they have no, they don't have any type of scrolling among the products. But one like small detail that I wanted to note about them that's pretty smart in terms of like the optimization for getting people to buy is that they don't have their prices listed here. And when you go to click on the size, let's say this t-shirt right here, it automatically adds it to your cart. It's a very small detail, but I think definitely like helps, like probably just, very small percentage extra boosted, but for the amount of volume that they do, I'm sure that actually converts to some serious numbers. And of course, like they do a lot of cool stuff. Like they donate a lot of their proceeds. They're very, very cool brand. You should check them out if you've never seen them before. But yeah, this is just another way to go. And you could actually scroll this for days because they're constantly just adding new product. So it's really just one massive like shop all, if you will. I don't even know if they have it broken up. They have filtered by, okay, you can filter by categories. But yeah, you can see just how much product they have. It's actually unreal. And most of it is actually sold out. So probably should get rid of some of that. But yeah, you can just scroll for days on their site. Next up, we have Fugazi. One of the best like upcoming underground streetwear brands there is. I mean, they're pretty established. But yeah, we have a similar concept with this almost like ad right here. I think this is referencing the Calvin Klein ads from I don't remember what year that was, like 2017, 2018, with all the music artists and whatnot. But yeah, this is like pretty cool. And then they have the I don't think this actually, yeah. So you can't click on any of this, and then you just go to the shop tab. And it's again more traditional, kind of like the Circle Author, where it's on that gray contrast background. It's a small touch, but again, I like that instead of just the all white background. Just again, small details that kind of add up, and a solid brand. Yeah, I like it. It's very professional looking. Next up, we have Benjamin Edgar, an object company, I think based out of Chicago. Really pretty simple site, except for he added this like dot interface over it, which I think is like really interesting. Again, feels very like creative and unique, and he's got a lot of things that he does very like true to him and like his own creative things. You can turn them on or off very simply. So I'm sure most people want to have them off to actually like look at what they're buying, especially if it's a $220 card holder. But yeah, really cool stuff he sells. Again, similar to the previous couple. We have the gray background, so that small contrast. Everything looks very professional. All the product photos are good. And yeah, no complaints here, but I like this little extra touch that kind of goes a long way for the customer, and especially if they're trying to sell something very high end. Having just the smallest of details like that matter. Next up, we have Solutions by Gleb Costin. I really just like this interface we have right here for like the main page from like CoinFlip. Again, just really random, but like this stuff matters, guys. Like I like just the littlest of details that people might have on their site. We have a radio. Don't know what's much in here. And then we have the actual shop itself. So I click on this, takes me to another place where it's the actual shop, and I think it's a little more traditional with the white background, gray backgrounds on the overall white screen. Very easy to navigate. Also has ways to separate the different products, which is important if you have a lot of products available, of course. Yeah, I just like the details on the main page that I showed you. Again, those things like matter. Moving on, we have the brand Stuff with 3 S's and 3 F's. I actually just found out about this brand recently from this puffer jacket right here, which is actually why I wanted to show you this site, is because they have this whole very visual, almost like ad, but really just showing you like it's a bit ASMR like, but also just showing everything behind this puffer. So again, if you can do anything that's visually engaging, if you can have like a running video or a GIF or whatever like on your page, like I think that's really like smart. As long as it doesn't affect your speed score negatively. And then when you scroll down the site, we have these kind of food ads like looking things. We have a showcasing their pop up. But I just like I really like this video part on their main homepage. And then again, we have a shop tab. If I go to here, and then this is kind of like the little Tokyo table tennis, the way it's broken up. Again, clean photography. It's not all just one color, which I like. Very minimal details, differences in the color. Yeah, solid site. I like it. It feels like creative and not too over the top, but like just enough. And that's kind of what I'm getting at, is that I think it's really important to be creative with your website. And that's coming from someone that does not have a creative website. Be more creative with your website. It's probably going to cost you some money to, do this, because I don't have any personal experience coding, so I can't really tell you too much, except for I did pay someone once to do a small change, which was kind of costly. So yeah, that's definitely something to figure out, what kind of budget you have for something like this. And I don't think it's something you need to really prioritize immediately going on. Like I said, start with the very kind of base website like this. Plenty of free Shopify templates if that's the thing you choose to use, Shopify. That will get the job done. But as you grow your brand, or you have something more established, or you're trying to sell something that's much more higher end, these things become that much more important. Next brand I want to showcase is Advisory Board Crystals, and let me refresh this. And it's really just because this is their homepage. You have like this gate that's locked, and you have this crystal. So I click on the crystal, it does that, and then I think takes me to their main page. Again, very similar, gray and white backgrounds. What is happening? Yeah. So again, really cool product. First of all, let me just shout out this like puffer jacket hoodie. This thing is crazy. I saw it on IG. I wanted it. It's $500. I'm not paying that, but I think this thing is like sick. I think this thing is awesome. But besides the point, yeah, that little like intro to their website is like kind of crazy. And then if you have this part right here, I think it like you can't open it or something like that. Yeah, enter your email address to be the first to know when the door unlocks. I think that's for like new big releases or something like that. But you can just go over here to the left and navigate like you normally would as website. Again, small detail, but I think it's kind of cool. The one thing I will say is that if it's someone that's landing on your website that has like no idea what the brand is about, and they see that and they interact with it, and maybe it takes a while to load or whatever, like they could very easily just like scroll off to the next thing. Again, everyone's attention spans are just much smaller right now. So yeah, just one thing to think about. And then the last one I want to look at is Aris Tatalovic. Just a website that has like every product available scattered, and you just click on it and it takes you to that product specifically. If this wants to work, maybe. Okay, so the website even right now is being okay. So yeah, that's not something you want to have as website that's kind of laggy. But I like the way that's set up. It's very creative and unique. And again, he's selling stuff at very high price points, so you kind of want to have that artistic touch, if you will. But yeah, I'll leave it off with this. I thought this was just a cool website design. Yeah, I just want to get at how important it is to have a creative website, but also one that's like doesn't take too long to load. I know there's been some in the past that are really like that. You really want to be looking at your website speed. I know with Shopify, it'll give me like a number, and it'll tell me if that's good or bad. So yeah, definitely make sure your website is able to load pretty fast when people get onto it, but also just make sure that if you can implement these creative touches, and then there's all those other little details that go into it to work on improving your customer, your CRO, and just getting people to purchase more often. But of course, also this is just another extension of your brand. It is another touch point. So be as creative as possible as you can. And with that, I will leave it as is. If you guys have any comments, drop a like, subscribe. As usual, again, really appreciate all the support recently. And until then, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.